Hello everyone, and welcome back to a very long night here in Katori Village, as the villagers are mourning the loss of one of our very own explorers. After so long of having our expedition team go out and collect and save other survivors from around the world, after having them collect so much of the iron ore that we are now dependent upon to build our cottages and other grand new structures, we did indeed lose a member of our own. We had Explorer Pluto end up dying trying to save a bunch of strangers from a terrifying monster that was attacking them in the mines. It was very upsetting. I actually didn't know that our people could end up dying. And so what we have here, wait a second, is somebody actually going to this cottage? Oh my gosh, do they actually use the cottages? Lore Keeper Perry. No, the answer is no. What? I thought that Perry was coming over to the cottage, but he is not. Also, I feel like my villagers have just tricked me. Wait a second. Wait a second. The whole reason that I was so excited to build these cottages is because I thought the villagers were going to be like, oh no, how will we ever be able to escape the poison without a better house that has glass planes? So we have been working freaking hard to get glass and everything else for them. Plus 20% poison resistance. You get the same poison resistance from the hut? Oh my gosh. I feel a little gypped right now. It turns out the cottages don't help protect our villagers anymore. They might withstand the storms more. That might be their benefit. And they might actually help us out with like not getting the buildings blown down, because they'll be sturdier. But I still feel just a little bit cheated right now. And they will help with productivity, because one of the big things for our villagers is they want better housing. We are indeed trying to get better housing quality going on, so hopefully that'll be taken care of soon. Wow. Okay. Well, at the same time, I still have been gypped, so I need a little bit of time to process that. But now that we have had a little bit of time to mourn Explorer Pluto, we will have to go send out our new explorers, including Explorer Pluto II, Explorer Pluto's daughter, we're saying, who is indeed going to try to live up to her father or mother's name. I'm not sure what Pluto, our wonderful patron, who is named, or like who this villager is named after. Not sure which pronoun they like, so we'll just go with whatever. And I guess having the cottages will help. Alright, that does make me feel like we're taking good care of our villagers, even if it turns out they were mostly just being fussy. Also, our builders are done. Ooh. But I'm not done with you guys. Where's my glass blower? Alright, I'm gonna switch somebody from... Oh, hey! And this general workers post is open now. Okay, I'll turn that off. I want more people over in the glass blowers. And... let's see. Do I want more people? I'm gonna have one more person over at the berry gatherer, so we can try to get more berries. And then these guys, switching you guys to general workers. There we go. Alright, thanks for your patience, guys. I just had to kind of take a moment to be a little bit shocked by that, because I thought for sure that the cottages would actually help out more, but here we are. Also, I don't think there's any more wheat to grind for bread. We might want to go ahead and switch over to trying to make more wheat pretty soon. We're just barely keeping ahead of our water problem, too. That's probably going to become a lot worse. And we could go to the mountains to the north. That might be good, and we might even run into a group of nomads who need rescued, and our people are all about rescuing the nomads. But then also there's like this strong thunderstorm, and last time we ran into even a small storm, like half the village was destroyed. So I gotta do a little bit of thinking about that. But we'll send our people out to gather some sand, because we're gonna need a lot of glass right now. And I suppose for the moment, what we should actually do is check out what the new warehouse does. Oh! Oh! It stores 250 of everything that can go in the storage spots. Okay. I mean, that's pretty useful. I'm glad we put it in sort of a centralized location. I think that'll actually help us out quite a bit. And I wonder if that means... I think I'm going to turn off the raw storage. So I'm not going to let the raw things be stored here, because I would prefer that the sand was stored closer. Yeah, I'd prefer that the sand was stored closer. It's okay if the iron isn't. Sand closer to the glass blower. And then where am I storing my glass? That's actually a good question. I think it's okay if glass is stored over there too. Alright, we'll see how that plays out. Because if we have the raw ingredients stored in here, that's going to be far away from where it gets processed. I also don't want the biogas stored here. I want it to be stored properly in the decontamination areas. Same with the mushrooms. The compost we might actually store. And I don't want the ombu food stored over here. And we don't have any blood or any bile at the moment. Oh, and there we go! Speaking of our ombu, our wonderful new is awake! She is awake, and then that means that our shrine keepers can go ahead and give her her food. Oh, alright. Yeah, we're just barely staying ahead on the food situation. I might need to switch over some of our farmers. I'm supposed to have a ton of farmers over here, but I feel like they're never all there at once. We might switch over some of our farmers. Oh, good, and she just got her food. Instead of cactuses, so the cactuses are growing. Should I have them grow corn? I think we'll keep it like this for now. And how much... I want to get our herb situation up a little bit more, but I may close down one of the herbalists pretty soon, depending on if I'm worried that we're using too much water on growing herbs. Decisions. As our village has actually gotten bigger and is sprawling out more, I'm realizing that it really would benefit us to go ahead and remove some of the buildings. Definitely at least remove some of these tents that we still have some poor people like stuck living in. Let's see how many more cottages we can get in anytime soon. Maybe I'll put a couple cottages over here. That could actually be kind of nice. Yeah. I mean, okay, maybe I won't put too many, but our herbalist has never been able to plant enough things that I have to worry about him needing more fields, and I could always just do this. There. So we'll see if our herbalist will actually tend to those. And then we could get a little road built like so. And I think I'll leave this area like empty between the two houses though. We'll do that though. Alright, and so we just need to continue on with a few cottages scattered around. I kind of like the idea of keeping everybody sort of like the houses at least located on this side. Yeah, maybe I will put a couple more over here. Or like one over here. And let's see. Yeah, we have reached the point where now there's probably meetings of the villagers who are a little spoiled. They don't know how hard it has traditionally been. Is she still so hungry? She's still really hungry. And we need to cure her soon. And she's a little tired. But I don't know if we should have her come to the sleep spot or not. I do think we have reached the point where we have many villagers. Oh, there's mountains to the south. Yes! Who didn't have to go through and struggle with what the founding members of the Katori tribe did. And so they don't know that it's such a benefit, such a boon, that the only thing bothering us as we're stuck in this endless desert, this huge, endless desert of Timrek Desert, the new villagers, the ones born here on the back of our ombu, probably have no idea how lucky they are that even in this desert we don't have to worry about food, we don't have to worry terribly much about water. I take back the food part though. Alright, I think we do need to have more people making food as quickly as we can. And I mean, we're churning out polenta, and Some of our people are trying to churn out the berry muesli. Alright, if we know that we're actually coming up on being able to go to the mountains at some point, there she goes, and now she gets more of her food. I think we will go ahead. Okay, that's a small spore cloud. But there's a thunderstorm and a small spore cloud if we go to the north. We need more information. And there's an oasis! Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, okay, we're gonna switch from cactuses to something that will give us more food abundance. Corn? Not beets. Tomatoes would actually grow okay. They would not grow well in the mountains, though. Corn would not grow well in the mountains either. What could we get done? Wheat? Wheat might? I hate to plant wheat right there, though. And tomatoes need a lot of water. Alright, you guys plant corn for now, then. And then I'm gonna have these guys actually switch over to wheat. Because wheat will grow in the mountains. Ooh, good. The cottages are getting constructed. Alright, small spore cloud. We're gonna have to figure out what we think as we get a little bit further. I'm thinking we'll probably go south, but at the same time I feel really guilty leaving some survivors behind, especially when we're getting close to like 100 members in our community. I definitely need to start feeding more of them. Alright, let's make our priority today, because I think the elders are a little overwhelmed as the city has grown. Today our priority is going to be going ahead and getting enough cottages put down that we can actually start removing some of these houses. So I think we need to have at least 24 extra cottages. So we need to build at least one more cottage in order to get rid of these houses. So that we can put a farm there and have more people working the farms, because food is indeed becoming an issue as we continue to grow. So let's get another cottage built over here. I kind of love the idea of just having these cute little cottages lined up next to the herbalist. That is kind of appealing to me. Alright, we'll put a couple over here. And then there we go. Make a little path. I'm leaving that berry because I love the berry. Alright, you know what? Actually, probably important to just go ahead and clear the berry out, because that's food. And we are in the middle of the desert, and we are getting kind of low on the number of meals. I think people can eat raw food if they need to, but let's not push our luck. And then should I do a few more cottages? Maybe? I'm really in the mood to start removing some of these buildings and these houses and make room for our people. I would love if like we had more food up here and we had more people farming. Maybe I do need to build multiple farms and just have more people doing the farming. Alright, here we go. We'll try not to overthink it so much. After all, yeah, I think somebody's finally calming down some of the elders, and they're pointing out, Elder, even if it's not the right thing at the moment, in the future, we finally have a future that we could tend to this. And here we go, just as the elders were wringing their hands and fretting about, oh, but where will we put the precious resources? It's so difficult to get our hands on the iron and the glass that these cottages are made out of. We just bumped into another group of nomads, and 3 new people have just joined us. Yay! If that's not a sign we're going in the right direction, I don't know what is. And if I can find them, that's in a second. Aha! One of the new people. And if I can find them, I shall name them after our wonderful patrons who make all of these adventures possible, like Logan! Logan, welcome! I am actually going to call you, let's see. We found you in the deserts. I actually kind of like Donkey Guide Logan. And there are no donkeys, but I like the idea that maybe he was guiding everybody. Why donkeys? Why did I pick donkeys? If we're in the middle of the desert, it's camel. I just like the idea, Logan, that maybe you had some camels you were taking care of in the desert. And thank you so much for supporting us, along with Wesley. So let's actually have this be Water Hunter Leslie. Or excuse me, Wesley, pardon. Because I love the idea that somebody had to be able to find all of the oases. And then we have Paint Seagull! We're actually going to have Lore Keeper Paint Seagull, because Paint Seagull is one of our wonderful admins who takes care of a lot of the bot work on our Discord. So welcome, you three. I wish I had known where more of our villagers ran off to, but it's kind of hard to track them down. Also, maybe I could get some of the air wells built kind of in preparation for where we're about to be. Oh, and we do have the bile extractor now, but we are not going to be putting it down because it does actually like cut into our Ombu's living body and it takes the bile out. Oh, and she's unsure about which direction to go. We're coming. All right, so this is the moment. This is the time where we have to decide. Are we gonna go to the north and save those people? Or are we going to go to the south and not save those people, but head to an Ombu sleeping spot where she would be safe and able to rest? Oh man. I feel like she's also already very sick. Oh, you guys, I could imagine like our village is getting big enough. I think this would be one of the first big fights between the shrine keepers and the elders. The elders being biased to wanting to save all the people and like find out if maybe these people have some of the precious lore. And I think that the scouts would be nervous and kind of pointing ahead at the giant thunderstorm that's out there. And I think that the shrine keepers would be nervous about like sending her into the mountains when she's so sick and we haven't cured her yet, and wanting to give her a good rest first. So I think between the scouts and the shrine keepers, two of the three elements of power in Katori Village, we're gonna go south this time. And I think that that has actually sent a ripple of disease and confusion among some of the villagers, because it means that even though we have seen a signal for help, we are turning our backs on some of the others in order to protect our Ombu instead. And I could totally understand, and we need to actually cure her now that I think about it, how this would be an extremely uncomfortable and confusing time for our people, but also a really essential and important one too. All right, so let's see. We need to get more glass made for sure, if we're going to be able to keep up with everything. And I think that means it's time to get rid of this giant trunk. I really love the giant trunks, but that one kind of in the way. And now we don't have enough resources to be able to make what we need. So if I actually put... It would be the sawmill? Yeah, I could put the sawmill right here, and eventually it would remove this trunk. And that would make a perfect section so we could have like another warehouse if we needed. How's the warehouse doing? It's like empty, so we don't need another warehouse. So what about another glass blower? I mean, technically one would fit in right here just fine. And that would be close to where we have the sand, which is from our explorers. All right, we'll go ahead and build another glass blower over here. Trying to leave as many of the tree trunks and everything intact as possible might seem a little bit silly. However, we are indeed Katori Village, the village of floating trees, so we try to do our best. Oh man. I still feel really weird about leaving those nomads behind. I don't think that our people are 100% comfortable with that, but maybe once they see how our precious Ombu, she still needs like more healing. Even though we just healed her, she still needs like a more rest, even though she collapsed with exhaustion after trying to get us through this desert. I could see how it's not a perfect answer, but it is something that people are accepting. Sometimes, especially in a post-apocalyptic wasteland like this, there aren't always going to be decisions that were made that are 100% comfortable. They're going to be difficult ones. But I wonder what Explorer Pluto would think after having just sacrificed their life last time, knowing that we heard a call for help and we chose not to go. Oh, like I said, no easy answers. But alright guys, thank you so much for joining us as we continue to push our way through this lost world. If you guys would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!